my number one feature, my favorite feature on it is the Bitcoin thing. And number two is the stock thing. Um, the fact that the fact that we have access to these. Bitcoin is just incredible. It's a 24/7 network that people can buy and sell, and as they sleep, they can earn money. I mean, that is wealth, is something that works for you as you sleep. And Bitcoin is more of a new thing, but the stock market is one that's always been out of access for most people. So you brought up Berkshire Hathaway. I mean, that's it's a $340,000 stock. To buy one share, you need $340,000. So to be able to do it for $3 or $1 is pretty incredible. And it's again a place where as you sleep, you can earn money and you can build wealth, which is not a lot of there's not a lot of options out there for a lot of people to actually consider even building wealth in the first place. Housing is one, stock market is another, Bitcoin is a newer one, but that's it.
I really wanted to ask you about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I think it's something that probably most of our audience and listeners are, at the very least, loosely familiar with.
Yeah.
But I think it's still kind of this vague Silicon Valley idea that is maybe you own a little bit of it, but what does it mean or why does it matter? I'd love for you to distill, maybe just very briefly, why you think it's really important and why it might practically impact their lives in the next 5 years, maybe.
Well, I'd encourage everyone who's listening, who's in the Silicon Valley, California technology bubble, to visit one country in Africa. Then you'll see. It's something here in California, here in Silicon Valley, here in the United States, we want, because it's cool. It's a currency. It's not owned by any particular government. It's 24/7. It has all these incredible principles around being deflationary, so that it incentivizes savings instead of spending. A lot of things that we should want as an economy and we should want as a society. But what's interesting about, I spent November in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Ethiopia, and in South Africa. And it's not a want there, it's a need. It's a need because there's no way right now without getting charged upwards of 30% to move money from Nigeria to Ghana where their family is. There's constant threat of government corruption against their own fiat currency. There's constant threat from what the Chinese government is doing and how most of the African goods are exported and then re-imported at a much, much higher tariff because of the currency exchange. So this is, if you want to feel it and you want to feel why it's practical and why it's necessary, spend some time in Africa, spend some time in Venezuela, spend some time in a country, in a nation that has to constantly be aware of what their government is trying to do to them, how their government is trying to sell them out, how much control their government has over them through this instrument of currency.